Are you having trouble staying motivated for a project that you want to work on? Oh no, sorry, I thought you said something else. I'm honestly in the same boat, but today we're going to fix that. Right now, I may not have a voice, but I have a YouTube tutorial and a dream. And sometimes that's all you need. I've been telling myself that I'm going to make a button-down shirt. Button down, button up? Does it matter what direction the button's going? I've been telling myself that I'm going to make a shirt with buttons. And I've made a lot of excuses to myself that are usually like, I don't think I'm gonna do as good of a job today. I feel like I'm not as locked in, or I don't have the mental energy for it. It is currently freezing outside. I have the whole weekend to myself. The SpongeBob pants are on. The Patrick Crocs are on. And we know that the Patrick Crocs stay on during summer. I think this is the perfect opportunity to let go of the standard that I've set for myself. And I think it's time to just make something. So let's do it. Let's learn how to make a shirt in one weekend, no matter how it turns out, because we are happy that we at least finally did it. Copyright. Unfortunately, after recording that, I went to get a snack and I did lose a part of my tooth. So we're down one tooth, but hopefully by the end of this video, we'll be up one shirt. So nice try, universe. We're still kicking. All right, now let's really get started. So I sat down to begin and I very quickly realized that I actually have no idea what to do next, because that's what the YouTube tutorial is for. So I went back to watch the video and take notes, and I'll be linking this video in the description. And I quickly remembered why this took me so long to get to, because there are a lot of steps and I don't have a lot of time, especially now that I have to go to the dentist tomorrow. So the first step in this process is to just measure a bunch of different parts of my upper body, like my chest, my neck, how long my arms are when they're bent, the length that I want my shirts to be. And this is all just to create a basic outline of my body, and we can put it on paper. And then we actually want to make the real shirt. We can just add a couple inches to the sides, to the neck, to the sleeves, and stuff like that. So after measuring myself, I take this tracing paper, which I conveniently have. I know I said that I haven't done this that much before, and I swear it's true. If I did, then I wouldn't have this much tracing paper left. Trust me. I follow the YouTube video guide as close as I can, and I end up with something like this. Thoughts? Yeah. I'm honestly not sure how much of this you can actually see, but personally, I think that if I wore this, I would be cited for violating some sort of exposure laws. So I transferred this over to something with a little less criminal opacity. Did you hear that voice crack? I'm down a tooth. I'm down my voice. How much more do I have to give for this shirt? Anyway, now that I have this block, we can finally make this shirt, right? Right? Wrong. Okay, this pattern is about the measurements of my flesh, which my skin is conveniently occupying the space of. Okay, fine. I'm exaggerating a little bit. I actually am going to make a quick sample of this using some muslin fabric that I have, just because I don't trust myself. I measured myself twice at most, so I probably made some mistakes. So I'm going to put together a quick sample with whatever mistakes come with it, and then we'll see what I want to adjust, and then we'll make the actual shirt pattern. But then I got hungry, and so I decided to make some dumplings that I had in my freezer. So I just boiled up some water, threw them in there. I usually steam my dumplings or make them I pan fry them like pot stickers, but today I decided to just boil them because it seemed like a quick idea. I made myself a little dumpling sauce. Really quick, honestly. I forgot how fast dumplings cook, which is pretty nice. And then here, you can take a bite if you'd like. I did, and then I actually remembered that my tooth is gone. And I was like, wait, is that okay? And then it was fine. I was like, okay, cool. And those things knocked me out. So I woke up the next day. I made myself some tea. I called my dentist. I tried making an appointment for the same day, and they were closed. So I just kind of talked to myself on their voicemail machine for a little bit, and then just sat there and pondered over the missing piece of my tooth while drinking my tea. No, it'll be fine. I'll call him tomorrow. Tomorrow's a new day. Today we're finishing this shirt. So I tried on the sample that I made the day before, and then I realized that my forehead is not making it through that thing the way it is. So I had to cut a line through it to get my head in. And I tried it on, and it was good. I only made one sleeve because why would I make two? It's a sample. It's quick. I did sew it on backwards. My bad. But I won't do that on the real shirt, I hope. And yeah, I really like it. I'm kind of surprised. I'm like, should I just make this the shirt? But no, I think I'll make some slight adjustments to make the sleeve a little bit more roomy underneath. But apart from that, I think we're ready to continue. Now, before we do this, I realized that I probably should know what I am going for. So I made a little sketch that I put together based off of everything I've seen online. I feel like people do sketches a lot, and I'm not the most talented artist, but I do think that this one is kind of impressive. Look at the detail over there. You can even see my missing tooth. And so I went back to the next tutorial, which is the actual button-down shirt tutorial, and I am stressed. There are so many steps involved in this. This is going to be a journey. I mean, God, I'm shaking. Look at me. But then I remember what I told myself at the beginning of this video, and it was, I'm going to lower the standard of what I expect this to be, and I'm just going to make this shirt. I'm going to go through the mistakes. I'm going to bank on things just kind of working out. And if they don't, it'll be okay. None of it is the end of the world. I just want to have a shirt at the end of this. Even if I don't like it, at least I made it. And so I went back to the desk and I started tracing out the original body block that we made. I did make the adjustments to the sleeves to make them hopefully fit a little bit better. I don't know. We're giving it a shot. I'm not turning back now. So we're going to take what we get out of this. And then I went to extending this pattern to actually match the type of shirt that we're making. So now we had the base body block, and now I'm just adding some curves at the bottom, and overall just kind of cleaning up all the little bits and pieces so that everything lines up in the end. For the back panel, I actually need to split it in two. There's a yoke in the back I didn't know that yolks existed outside of the context of eggs, so this was a huge day for me, learning a lot of new stuff. I did have to extend this bit because there's just so much going on when it comes to a button-down shirt or button-up. I still don't know. I might not know even when I upload this video. But basically at this point in time, we have finished most of the pattern for the shirt. We're just missing the collar and the sleeves, but we'll get to that. Now, I was originally supposed to do this with my test fabric before moving on to my real fabric, but I was also supposed to have 32 teeth in my mouth. So, you know, sometimes things just change. So I started cutting out all the pieces on my actual fabric. I had to mark it with some chalk. I did get to save some time by layering these two together. I liked having just like this dual color thing going on. Plus I had the fabric for it. And then I had to do a diabolical amount of stitching. I don't have a serger, so I do a little zigzag stitch around all the edges so that it doesn't fray on its own. There was so much, but then when I saw my final panels, I was like, okay, this looks kind of cool. I'm excited for this, even though I'm so far from the end. And then I learned what a pleat was. Cool word, another cool word, and it's that little fold in the back. I liked it. I didn't even know it existed, and then I looked at all my shirts and I was like, oh, this is there. And then we can finally attach the yoke. You can actually have two of these, but we're only gonna do one because I committed to that. I did accidentally expose some of the stitches there, so I did do another line over it. And so we pressed that up, and I think it looks so much cleaner when you do a top stitch because it goes from this to this. And then before I knew it, it was already time for my evening tea. And then I remembered that I have both free will and smart lighting. So I took the moment to just have some like dimmer, prettier lights. Like, look at how good that looks. I mean, I can't see anything, but and look at my bed for, actually, never mind, don't look at that. And so after that, I drank my tea and then it is back to work. So now what we're doing is we're attaching pieces of interfacing for our placket, which is another word that I learned today. This is basically just like a English class. And for this, we are basically just ironing it on. We're folding things over. We're doing some top stitches. We do to one side, we also have to do to the other. This took some time, but it also made the front panels kind of look like the finished product, which is very motivating. I like seeing the results. That usually keeps me going. You know, at times like this that make me wish I could see my tooth back in my mouth, but yeah. Anyway, I did some top stitches over the shoulders and then I wanted to try it on. I did change it to a white tank top because I feel like it's going to make it a little bit more visible. I'm probably going to wear this thing open anyway. I think it looks good. I really like the colors. The fit of it is comfortable. I think I could workshop the sleeve a little bit in like a future iteration, but not enough to do anything now. I mean, I'm not going to tear this apart anyway, but I like it a lot. All right, so now all we need is the sleeve, the collar, and my tooth. Now, like my height in middle school, the sleeve actually didn't change very much. We did shift it down a little bit, but luckily we were able to use the same exact pattern that we did for the body block, so that saved us some time. And while on the topic of middle school, I actually am trying to learn from my mistakes now, so I clipped the sleeve on just to make sure that we didn't put it on backwards like we did with the sample. Also, why does it look like you can put a marble on the back of my neck and it wouldn't move? Anyway, everything looked good, so I went ahead and I pressed the edges of the sleeves, added some stitching to it, and we are now ready to turn this vest into a shirt, or the vest with sleeves. And after doing a little bit of tidying up, I now try to flip the shirt over and where's the front? Anyway, we flip this thing over and we can sew down the side so that we finally have a shirt. All that's missing now is the collar. Well, okay, I have a confession to make. I actually realized that I don't have any buttons, but I'm probably gonna wear this thing open anyway for now. So this is gonna be a buttonless shirt, which honestly just saves us the trouble of having to figure out if they go up or down. And now it's time for the collar. Wait, collar? I barely know her. That was I'm sorry. This part was basically just running off of vibes. Like I knew how long this line was, but then the curve, it was, it was just like draw something that kind of looks right. But honestly, I kind of like that because it forced me to make a decision and try to understand something. But I think the part that matters here the most is that I have been doing this for like 2 days. And if I take too long to do something, then I'm giving myself time to think. And the moment I start thinking, it is game. Oh, wait, SpongeBob and Patrick? Oh, they're just like this interfacing, you know, just like sticking together under the hot press of an iron. And then sewed along the edges. Again with the neck. Afterwards, I snipped this off, flipped that out, sewed that down, and then bam, we got part of a collar. But unlike my tooth, this thing is going where it needs to be tonight. Also, I don't know who invented teeth. That's like not my business. But whoever invented collars, how? How is my question? Because yes, it looks all pretty on the outside, but the sheer math in folding everything and getting it to be in the right spot when you sew it down involves the use of a number of brain cells that I just do not have. It is then when I remembered that if I'm going to be down one tooth by the end of this weekend, I have to be up one shirt. So we pushed through and it actually kind of worked out. So I got really excited to do the other side and like, look at this. Doesn't this look so sick? Like it works, unlike my dentist on Sundays. And as the weekend comes to a close, we finish off this piece with some top stitching. We smoothen out the edges a little bit. We do some reinforcement stitches and then we have a shirt. We have a shirt. We look at, it's done. We did that. Look at this. Look at these details and shaky camera work. The collar, beautiful. Collar still beautiful. There are little reinforcement stitches. Our pleat, look at our pleat. Am I a pleat? That was so much fun. I mean, like, look at this. Like I didn't have this 2 days ago. I am so glad that we did that. Truly, thank you so much for watching this video. If you did have fun, then it would really be helpful if you gave this video a like. If you have any long-standing projects that you haven't started yet, or maybe you like started but then put it off for a while, I'd love to hear about them. And also I hope that this gave you the motivation to maybe continue. I know it's really hard. It took me a really long time to get started on this, but I can tell you after the fact, I do not regret it one bit. If you want any tips for planning out a fun night for yourself or with friends, then you can check out my last video. And if you want to know when my next video is out, then you can subscribe to the channel. Thank you again for doing this with me, and I'll see you soon.